One of the frequently asked question video clips that I have on my website is about children with abilities, but I'm often obviously asked about adults with abilities. It's harder to answer when it has to do with adults because we have so much baggage. You know, we've been through more. We have a chip on our shoulder sometime, or a parent that disappointed us. With children, they tend to be more easy to access because they're not so distracted by life or disappointed by it. For adults, it's kind of a case-by-case basis on what your style's going to be or what your strength is going to be in either discovering your mediumship abilities or your ability to predict, your ability to heal. You know, there's just so many different facets of being gifted. One of the things I do is I write down the impressions that I get as they're coming through. It helps me to organize them because I'm kind of pragmatic. So if you're a pragmatic type, it might help you to write the impressions that you're getting. It also is good to physically be able to leave them there and not carry it around in your head, you know, to put it down on paper and then push it aside until you want to address it later, or not at all. So don't feel like because you have a deceased come through to you or an image of a crime that's happened, but there's really not a lot you can do with that. Sometimes it's better just to write it down and burn it and say like a little prayer that the information get through to the person who's, you know, actually going to be in a position to help in that case, or be able to help that person that's more of a kind of a lost soul or somebody that just sees you as a way through. It's important to have boundaries with the living and the dead. So if you're getting bombarded by the other side, it's because you haven't thrown up your walls yet. It's important to tell people who are connected to you on the other side that love you, like I talk to my dad when I need help with this, to either turn up the volume so that you can hear the person talking to you more clearly, or to only allow certain people through when you want it, really. So, you know, I've got like my office hours, and that's when I do readings. I don't walk through life bumping into spirits or with an inability to kind of fend off or ignore something going on that isn't mine to address. I don't ambush read people. I find it unethical. So if I see a deceased person standing with a living person, I'll often say to the deceased, you're going to have to go through your family and friends. It's got to be somebody closer to you, not a stranger. So it's just something I steer clear of personally. It's hard to navigate abilities and know when you should, you know, say something and when you shouldn't. So I like to live by the rule of not ambush reading people. If you have abilities and you want to help to foster those abilities or grow them, I always thought it was very helpful assembling circles. In other words, one Sunday a month, have 7 friends over that you sit and pull impressions off of each other, and you know, and then go to lunch together, you know, and maybe do a chakra clearing, which you can Google or get a book on. But that's a good way to start a circle, to get aligned. And then every time you come back to doing that circle, you're going to start seeing 1 or 2 of you standing out and getting stronger. And that's how I started out. I attended a circle with a friend, and I didn't actually think I was going to be a part of it, but they told me to give it a shot. And everything that I would say happened to be true, which I thought was so strange because it seemed so effortless. When you have the ability, it doesn't have to feel difficult to get the information. Sometimes it's actually easy to pull thoughts or to connect with the other side. It felt very natural to me. So after doing the circle for a month or 2, I started noticing I was getting a lot of people just wanting to book private readings with me, and the rest is history. So when you're really good at something, word of mouth ends up being enough to get you where you want to be. So for those of you that are like, how do you know if somebody's good? Well, word of mouth. You're going to hear it from somebody, and somebody you trust, hopefully, and what their experience was. I like to listen to music low at night. It distracts that part of my brain that the other side connects to. So if you or your children are having trouble sleeping, some light jazz in the background, something calming, can be so helpful in helping you to get a good night's sleep. So I hope some of these tips on navigating your abilities and assembling circles, and you know, if you invite 7 friends, within a couple months they invite 7 friends, and you start having 2 days where you have to have circles because there's so many people that want to sign up and do it. And it wasn't anything big. It was like everybody throws $10 in, sort of a thing, and goes from there. So give it a shot. It's actually a lot of fun. Then you go to lunch together and talk about all the information that came through and how much you enjoyed it. So don't run from your gifts. Don't run from your abilities. Embrace them. Help yourself to grow through these tools that I'm giving you. And if you try and turn away from it, you get pent up and angry. So you just kind of have to own having the abilities and then figure out what your accuracy is and what you're good at. That's all. That's really what it's about. And it really does help you to get through life more easily. Just be careful not to let your head override that voice inside that's actually giving you the correct answer. Because if you let your head override that voice, then you're just like everybody without abilities. You're trying to run an agenda. So don't do that. If you're going to trust your instincts fully 100%, go with your first instinct and stick with that. So good luck to you all, and I'll see you in TV land.